Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from Tax, and here's a clip from a live Q&A session we did on tax and investment for U.S. exposed persons at the American Chamber of Commerce. This was on September 4th, 2023, and we did this together with John Shoemaker. He's a partner at a U.S. tax law firm called Butler Snow in Singapore, and with Paul DeVierno, the strategist and fund manager at UOB Kay Hian. Enjoy. Hello, I'm a non-US resident citizen, so an expat living here, I guess, planning to buy some American Treasury bonds. So he or she was thinking about you in advance. So want to buy some bonds on my American brokerage account, well, I don't need to name the platform. Shall my non-American heirs pay American estate tax upon my death?
These aren't exact terms, but I think it helps if we can distinguish between estate taxes and inheritance taxes. These aren't always used exactly the way I'm going to describe it, but it's a good way for you to get your head around certain differences in systems. An estate tax is a tax paid when an individual passes away and it's owed by the estate of the person who died. An inheritance tax is a system where the beneficiaries, when the person dies, the people who inherit the money, owe a tax. The U.S. operates under an estate tax system. So it is the estate of the deceased who will owe the tax. In this instance, because you have a U.S., we're going to assume a citizen for the reason because of the way the question was worded, we'll assume a citizen. So that person, all citizens are considered domiciled in the U.S. That means they're subject to U.S. estate tax on their worldwide holdings. So yes, there will be U.S. estate tax exposure for that asset, regardless of the type of asset. The reason I say regardless of the type of asset is because even if this person was a non-U.S. person, there could be U.S. estate tax exposure. Not worldwide, only on a small amount of assets, U.S. situs assets for estate tax purposes. Primarily that's U.S. stocks and U.S. real estate. So the simple answer for this question is yes, there will be U.S. estate tax exposure. Now, will there be a practical amount to be paid? Probably not. Right now, there is a lifetime exemption just under $13 million. So most Americans will never accumulate or transfer $13 million in assets during their lifetime or at their passing. So while they'll have an exposure, they won't actually owe anything due to the exemption.
Just, will the spouse, because when you die and leave it to your spouse, right, there's no taxes, but if the spouse is a foreign non-resident, do they benefit from the spouse? So they might. It depends, as you point out, it depends on the nature of that spouse's residence. So two citizens, like my wife and I, enjoy unlimited spousal transfers. I can send her $1 billion. She can send me back $2 billion. There are no U.S. transfer taxes, gift or estate taxes that are part of those transactions between two U.S. citizens. As soon as you introduce a non-citizen, though, you now have exemptions. So the individual that's making the transfer has their own lifetime exemption, so that amount will be exempt, but that's regardless of whether it's going to a spouse or not. There also are annual exclusions. This year, I think it's 175, is that right? Between a citizen and a non-citizen. Mm-hmm. Every year, a U.S. citizen can transfer up to $175,000 to a non-citizen free of transfer taxes. So if you realize you're going to be in a situation where there might be an exposure because your spouse is not a U.S. person, you can start transferring assets well ahead of your passing. None of us can know exactly when that'll happen. But you can start planning and get some out ahead of that so you can reduce that exposure.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.